Hey guys, what's up? As you can probably see, there's a bit of a storm coming, and it's drizzling, a lot of thunder. But today, I'm going to show you the absolute best way I have found to catch bass. You know, artificial is great. Artificial works most of the time to time, and sometimes it just doesn't work. And when it doesn't work, minnows are the absolute best way to catch fish. Now, these past 3 or 4 times I've gone out to the lakes. We were fishing artificial while having some bobbers out with minnows on them, and we were catching 8 or 10 bass, like 3 or 4 pounds on minnows, and like 1 or 2 fish on artificial. So, you know, sometimes artificial works and you're hooking up on fish like every 10 seconds. Like every cast there's bass, fish, crappie, you know. But when that's not working, the absolute best way to catch bass are minnows. Now here, let me show you my rig here, kinda. So, this little spinning reel, it's got like 12-pound test on it. There's a cork here. Doesn't need to be that big. You just can't have the minnow pulling it down, because then you'll think you'll have a fish on, and you pull it up and there's nothing. It's just a minnow. The reason I don't like to have the cork that big is if you have a small bass with this big cork, and you know it's trying to pull it under, it's gonna have a little trouble pulling that big cork under. And you want to be sure that there's a fish on and not just your minnow or something else. But yeah, I tend to go with smaller corks, and corks like these are good. For crappie, I'd use little corks. Minnows are great for crappie too. Whenever we go fishing for bass, we always have, and there's crappie in the area, we always have some crappie poles out, just in case we start finding crappie. But all you really need here is, you know, just a cork about this size, a little split shot around here, like halfway down, and a 1/0 sized live bait hook is what I have on here. You can do a 2/0 or 3/0 size, but those are a little big for me. I like to have little smaller hooks, because you could also catch other things with minnows while you're fishing for bass on them. Like, I remember we had like big hooks and this, you know, 30-pound test pen battle here, and we were catching crappie on them. It's funny, because you'd think with this 30-pound test the crappie would get line shy, which is when they can see the line. But no, we're catching crappie on them. Yeah. And so also, we are going fishing this week. We will be leaving on Wednesday, fishing the afternoon on Wednesday, and then fishing the entire day on Thursday. Try to get some footage for you guys. We will be fishing for bass and crappie with minnows. We will also be chucking artificial, try to see if we can get something on there. But if minnows are working, if artificial is working, we're just gonna kind of go with what's working. We're going to be fishing Lake Somerville. We live in Texas. That's about 3 hours away from here. We live in Wimberley, which is south of Boston, and that's about 2 or 3 hours away from here. Somerville is, and so we will be fishing Somerville. I've never fished Somerville, but I've heard it's really good. And there's crappie, there's some catfish, and a lot of bass. Okay, well, that's all for today, guys. See ya.